you'd expect to find Jews. But in 2007, a young Somali man began emailing a Jewish woman in Minnesota. He wrote about lighting his menorah, wishing strangers Shabbat Shalom, being a Jew surrounded by people who hated him. For 3 years, they exchanged messages, bound by a fragile, flickering Jewish connection. And then, silence. No goodbye, no warning, just gone. Suddenly, the story of Somali Jews felt even more mysterious. Was it all just a hoax? Or have Jews been here all along, hiding in plain sight? Knowledge of Somalia begins and ends with this guy.
I'm the captain now.
I'm happy to let you know that there's a lot more to Somalia. For example, there's a lot of political drama in Somalia. So much drama that they made a movie about it. Black Hawk Down is actually based on the Battle of Mogadishu, which is part of the Somali Civil War. The Civil War began in the 90s and was fought between the weakening Somali government and insurgent groups. In that time, a terrorist organization known as Al-Shabaab was born and remains active to this day. Al-Shabaab plays a major role in that 3-year stretch of emails between the young Somali man and his Jewish psychoanalyst pen pal. He would write often about bombings, attacks, and gunfire that his city of Mogadishu experienced due to the militia's clashes with the Somali government. So how did the young Somali man and the Jewish psychoanalyst even come to know each other? In 2007, Dr. Nancy Harteveld Kobrin was living in Minnesota when she saw an article in the Jerusalem Post about a guy named Rami and his mother Ashira. The article mentioned Rami's blog, which he started to get the word out about the violence that had overtaken his hometown.
He was all alone at the age of 19 with his widowed mother, and the forces of Al-Shabaab and Mogadishu and this part of Somalia being very unstable were sort of closing in on them.
Rami wanted readers to know the real story about what life was like for someone who was living smack in the middle of so much brutality. But he didn't just want readers to focus on the fighting and the danger and the negativity. He wanted to show what it looked like for someone just trying to have a normal life. The only thing was, Rami and his mother were Jewish. And in Mogadishu, that's anything but normal. Primarily because Somalia claims that it's almost entirely Muslim. Only about a handful of Jewish families are estimated to still live in Somalia. And they certainly aren't public about it. They observe their faith as crypto-Jews, where they appear Muslim on the surface, but practice their Judaism secretly for fear of discrimination, harassment, or worse. But have Jews always been this scarce and unwelcome in Somalia?
It was easy to overlook this simple question, were there Jews there? And when you begin to sort of scratch